Hello, moms, the girls, the gays, whoever's listening. Welcome back to Real Mom Yaps. I've been so excited to do episode two. Um, Not currently sipping on anything. Let's talk about episode one. So I don't know why I was so nervous, but I pre-gamed a little and I was sipping while I was talking. And I'm telling you, like, I thought about starting all over and just deleting the whole thing and even contemplated doing it in the first place. I got way too lit and I just thought like I was babbling way too much and nothing was making sense. I don't know. I went back and listened to it when I was sober and I was like, okay, that's not too bad. But it's funny because my man was like hyping me up before I came upstairs. And at the end of the day, I'm really just sitting here talking to myself, staring at a wall. I'm currently staring at my Hello Kitty poster. And I don't know what the fuck it was, but anyways, I was done. I went downstairs and he's like, "How is it?" And I'm like, "Um, you know that thing I do when I get a little too lit and I just start yapping and like nothing makes sense and I'm just throwing stuff out of nowhere? That's what happened." And he's like, "Well, isn't that the whole point? Like, aren't you just supposed to yap about whatever you want to yap about?" And I'm like, "Okay, you're right. You always know what to say." So, with that being said, hopefully this one goes better. I feel a little better about it, but not currently sipping on anything because we just got home and I told myself, like, girl, you need to get home and record this and like not lose momentum, literally, because I know if I wouldn't have recorded it today, I would slowly just lose interest in wanting to do this, and that's not what I want to do. Like, I've been dying to do this for so long. But we went out, little family outing with the baby, and we went to what's that called? Texas Roadhouse, and I ordered a mango margarita, and the lady like brings it to me. She's like, let me know how it tastes, blah 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 blah. Deep down inside, I knew it was a mango margarita, but literally later, she's like, "This was supposed to be your drink, so we're just gonna give it to you for free." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck yeah, thank you, too, hell yeah." So we did that, and then there's this new place called, I think it's called Claw Zone, and it's just a bunch of claw machines, and they just opened it like I want to say 2 months ago, not even 2 months ago, and we went with the baby and we had the best time ever. And I'm like, we need to walk out of here with two plushies at least. We got six. It was super cute. They gave you like this bag, you walk everywhere. The music was super cute, the vibes were cute. But with that being said, I feel like there's this huge misconception when it comes to parents and people that aren't parents. You ask someone maybe like, "Are you guys gonna have kids?" And they're like, "No, we want to do this, this, and that, like before we have kids." Or like even with parents, like you want to go out by yourselves because you're scared of going out with the baby. Like, what if the baby just starts losing their shit? What if this? What if that? You start thinking about other people and you just start thinking about the what ifs, and you just don't want to go out with the baby. And that kind of happened to us in the beginning. We would go out with the baby here and there, but I remember exactly when we got traumatized with going out with the baby. We went to Sam's, and I feel like he was probably, I want to say 4, 5 months. I want to say more, shooting more for 5. And we go to Sam's, and he was in his stroller. Everything was fine. And this was the first time ever that we have like the baby losing their shit in public. Like, he was not having it. He did not want to be in the stroller. He just wanted to be like in my arms or in daddy's arms. And we were like, oh my god. Like, as soon as we stepped in, and we needed to buy stuff, like we weren't just gonna leave either. But I remember ever since that day, we were kind of like, yeah, let's just like stay home, or like let's have my mom watch the baby and like go out. And I hate that. Like, I went to Orlando. I traveled. My voice recording just cut off. But as I was saying, I traveled to Orlando with the baby alone for the first time ever because I was going to visit my best friend and she had her second baby and I was going to meet her and she hadn't met my baby yet and all the things. And I was terrified. Like, first time alone on a plane, even though the flight's not that long, like, I was like, if I do this, I can do anything with the baby. And everything went amazing. As soon as the flight took off, my baby fell asleep and he stood asleep the whole time. And it was the same way, like, coming back here. We went to the beach. It was the first time ever going to the beach with the baby. We went out to the restaurant, and at that point, like, he can sit in a high chair and everything was fine. And I thought to myself, like, why are we scared to go out with him? Like, the more you do it, the more it becomes normal and the more everyone gets used to it, the baby, the parents, and just, you know. So as soon as I came back here, I'm like, we're going out tomorrow. We're going to try it. We're going to go to a restaurant with the baby and we're just going to try it. The key is to have snacks, toys, and a bottle just in case. And we'll try the high chair because we hadn't tried the high chair before because we literally didn't go out with the baby. And let's just fucking do it. Fuck what people think. Let's just try it out. And it went amazing. And we do absolutely everything with our child. Any restaurant, any place, the arcade, water park, like literally anything with the baby. You can do anything with your baby. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to not include your baby into outings, into date nights, whatever. Of course, it's fine once in a while to go out and have a date day alone and stuff, but like, that's a huge misconception. If you're scared of going out with your baby, just try it. Get some fucking snacks and just do the damn thing. But I just wanted to ramble about that because we were literally talking about it. Like, remember back then when this, and that, and like everything just goes so smoothly. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about my birth story. And hopefully I have like all the details straight. I feel like it happened forever ago and I don't know why, like, you just don't remember everything. So let's just get right into it. So I was induced at literally exactly 40 weeks. I did not want to go above 40 weeks. Like, I wanted to just meet my baby and get it over with because I was reaching the point where everything was just hurting. I was just so exhausted and I was ready to pop this baby out and start living mommy life and stuff. And I literally worked up, let's say, Friday, and I was getting induced Sunday, literally. So, I got induced early in the morning. I want to say at 8. Yeah, 8 a.m. We get there. It's my parents, my brother, my mother-in-law, and my baby daddy. Everything is going amazing. And it's funny because my man and I, we did like those classes that you do for like new parents and whatever. And they did a tour of the hospital. And the room that they showed us, that's the room that I was going to give birth in, which was insane. I was like, what the fuck? Remember this room? I remember that day. I'm the type of person that I don't really think about anything. Like, not in a bad way. I just don't give too much mind to anything until the moment comes, and that's when I start feeling like all my emotions. But they did the Foley balloon. Bitch. The things they checked how dilated I was, and it was barely anything. I want to say like 1 centimeter. Nothing. And I'm like, holy shit. So they did the Foley balloon, and that was the worst pain of my fucking life. It was so uncomfortable. I think I had it in for like 6 hours, and when they checked me, I was barely dilated. I want to say maybe like 3 centimeters. So I kept it in longer. They finally took it out when I was probably like, I want to say 4 or 5 centimeters. They took it out and I could start walking around and doing whatever I wanted to do. And that's what I did. I think I walked around that damn hospital. I did like 10 laps. I just kept walking, doing all the stretches, doing all the things. And in regards to my birth plan, I wanted to give birth naturally, no epidural. If I did need like any pain medication, I wanted to do the gas, the laughing gas, whatever the fuck is called. But that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted my mom and my man in the room, but it didn't happen that way. What else did I want in my birth plan? I can't remember, but mainly no epidural. So I'm walking around and my contractions start. And I'm like, okay, this isn't too bad. I can do this. I'm just in high spirits. I'm doing my makeup to get my mind off of shit. I keep like drinking water. I keep eating. Blah blah blah. The food was great. I was having an amazing time. I remember, I don't know how much I was dilated, but I'm like, holy fuck. Like, this is getting intense. But let me not get too ahead of myself. I can't remember if I got my epidural before my water broke or after. I want to say it's definitely after. I cannot remember anything about it. But all I remember is them saying, if your water doesn't break by this time, like, we're going to break it for you. And I'm like thinking to myself, fuck. You know how many people have fucking stuck their fingers up my coochie, have checked everything? That's the last thing I want. Like, please, God. And I'm just praying, like, please, I do not want them to do anything else. So it's like 3 a.m. We're all in the room. We, my man, my mom, and my mother-in-law. And my mom and my man are sleeping, and my mother-in-law is kind of awake but not really. We're kind of watching something on the TV, and I remember I farted and I felt something wet, and I'm like, either I just shit myself or I peed myself, I don't know. And I'm like, psst, come here. I don't know what happened. I just farted and I think my water broke. My mother-in-law comes to me. She moves the blanket and it's like this slimy, kind of bloody, kind of not. She's like, I think your water broke. We call the nurse. The nurse comes in and I'm like, I farted and I think my water broke, but I'm not too sure. And she's like, it sure did. She like helps me get up to she helps me get up. We go to the bathroom and I think I peed. I'm not sure. But it was just hilarious the way it happened. She's like, okay, great. Your water broke. Good. Things are moving along. Blah, blah, blah. So my contractions kept getting worse and worse. I think it was already, yeah, that was since 8 a.m, 3 a.m, my contractions, my water broke. And then my contractions were unbearable. And I'm trying to sit here and think about what the pain felt like, but I can't. Like, I don't even know how to describe the type of pain. Just imagine like all of your insides tightening. Like, just if someone grabbed you like a rag and just tried to squirt all the water out that's in the rag. That's just how it feels. Like, all of your insides just smushed all together and just the worst cramps of your fucking life. And I'm trying to fucking breathe. I'm trying to like just get my shit together, and I'm like, holy fuck, I need something. So they bring in the gas. I'm like inhaling that shit like they're like my life depends on it. I'm like it was not working, bitch. I was not feeling any type of relief, and I'm like, I need it. I need the epidural. They come. It's the usual nurse, and that nurse was cool as fuck. I will never forget her. Like, she was the best of the best. And the guy that was going to put my epidural in. So we're in the room, and my man is with me, and they're like, you need to stay as still as possible while we put this in. Like, you cannot move. I know you're feeling these contractions, but you really can't move. I don't know how I did it, but I was so still. It was insane. The guy is trying to put the epidural in. What should have taken, I want to say maybe 15 minutes, it took at least almost half an hour. Like, he kept trying to put that shit. He had to do it twice because apparently the skin on my back is super thick, and I don't doubt it, honestly. But it was getting to the point where the nurse was feeling frustrated for me. Like, she was low-key like telling him like, bro, hurry your ass up. Like, what the fuck? I was a little scared of the epidural, but honestly, I don't know if it was just like, you know, in the mix of all the things, like the pain of the contractions kind of overpowered the epidural, but I don't think it was as bad as I thought it was going to be. But as soon as they were done, I want to say it started kicking in maybe like 10-15 minutes later. And as soon as that shit like hit, I was like, oh my god, I can do this again and again and again. Like, thanks to this fucking epidural. I was floating into another dimension. I was like, oh my Jesus. I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't feel my body. I just felt glued to the bed. And of course, they're like, if you press this button, like, more will be released and you'll feel more relief if you need it. So, of course, in the nature of being newbies, and my mom was a little distracted, she wasn't really paying a lot of attention. Anytime I made a face because I was in pain, my man, being the amazing man that he is, would press the button. And he just kept pressing the button. I kept telling him to press the button. I'm like, oh my god, I need it. I need it. And with that, I wasn't able to move. I was making it a little like worse and worse for myself because there was no, regardless, I wouldn't be able to move around with the epidural, but I was literally making myself too numb. You know what I mean? So, one other nurse comes in and she's like, so you're not dilated enough, and if you're not dilated enough by this time, like, we're gonna have to do a C-section. And that's the last thing I wanted. Like, I did not want a C-section. And as soon as they brought that up, my mom didn't know that the thing that was connected, like the epidural, whatever liquid, I forgot the actual terms of it. She didn't know that if you press that, I would be getting more of that. So when she came to the realization, she's like, Keisha, like, if you keep pressing that, like, you're not gonna be able to do anything. Like, you're gonna have to get a C-section. And she was like a little upset, but I'm like, is there anything I can do? Like, can I try to do some movement to get myself more dilated? They brought like the little ball, but the one that's kind of squished, so you can put in between your legs and kind of like squish it and kind of move around a little. So I would flip from time to time, and I'll try to get as much movement as I can. So this is already the next day. We started on a Sunday. It's already Monday. I want to say maybe 4 p.m. Yeah, 4 p.m. And I'm just like, oh my God. Why do they're so pushy with the C-section? Like, just anything. Oh, you're gonna need a C-section. If this and that C-section. Like, they're just so fucking pushy with the C-section. Like, fuck off my ass. And I don't want a C-section. Like, I want to do whatever I can to not get a C-section. Nothing wrong with C-sections, just my personal preference. I prefer to just do it vaginally if I can. So, we get to the point where I'm dilated enough and I'm starting to feel things, and I'm like, okay, how do I know? Like, is it time? So by the time I'm feeling like this, there was another girl giving birth, and I think it was four of us that day. One was giving birth at the moment. So we call the nurse and she comes, and I'm like, I think something's happening. They do one last and final check, and they're like, just let's practice pushing. And I'm like, how do I push? And they're like, just push like you're gonna poop. And I'm like, okay. Talking about poop, I don't know if this is a common fear for everyone, but my fear was shitting myself while giving birth. I was like, oh my God, like I really don't want to poop myself. So I'm pushing. The thing is, I don't feel anything. I can feel myself pushing a little, but at this time, like I was so numb that I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. I couldn't feel it as much as I wanted to. So I'm just pushing from my butt, pushing like if I was shitting. I'm like, okay, I'm practicing, and I'm like, okay, so, I can't remember the feeling. I really wish I did. I wish I would have done this sooner when it was like more fresh in my mind, but this felt completely different. So, everyone comes to my room, and in this point, it was all girls in the room minus my man. Like, and I loved it. Like, everyone that was in the room with me, like, the vibes were great. Everyone was super supportive. Like, everyone was telling me, like, you got this, and it felt so empowering. And I'm like laying there, and I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like pushing. Every time I felt a contraction, I would push, and they'll tell me to just push when I feel like I need a push. They weren't like just push. So every time I felt one, I would push. I would stop. I would take a breath and just push. And I wasn't feeling anything. So my man is grabbing one leg, my mom is on the other side, everyone's just looking, and I want to say I was pushing for probably 20 minutes. And guess what, bitch? I shit myself. I can smell it. And I'm like, oh my God. But in that moment, like, honestly, I didn't care as much as I thought I would. Um, my man was telling me, like, oh, I can see his hair. I can see his hair. But in that moment, it wasn't true. He just wanted to motivate me to push more. And at one point he says it again, and I'm like, you're just lying. He's like, no. And my mom's like, oh my God, Keisha, we can see his head. And I'm just like, I remember like talking to myself in my head, like, you got this, like, you're gonna meet your baby soon, like, just push and push and push. And I just kept pushing, and his head came out, and I'm like, oh my God, my man is crying. I can see everyone just like, you got this, you're almost there. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I couldn't believe it. I get chills now. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? And I remember as soon as the head came out, that was like the easiest part, but then came his shoulders, and I felt a little bit of pain. I'm not gonna lie, I did feel a little bit of pain. And as soon as his shoulders were like almost fully out, he literally just literally bloop, came out just like that. And he's like crying. We shit ourselves at the same time. Can you believe that? As soon as he came out, I can smell my shit. And he pooped himself as soon as he came out. And I'm like, "Ah, twins." I love that for us. And I can just hear the crying, but I couldn't see him. Like, I just kept trying to see him and see him, and I just couldn't. They like placed him on my chest, and he felt so warm. Like, just so warm. And I remember trying to like look at him, and I couldn't see his face. I can hear my mom, like my mom was crying, my mother-in-law was crying, my man was crying, I was crying, but I couldn't see his face. And I tore a little bit. And it's funny how they try to get you while you're distracted, but guess what, bitch? I felt them stitching my butt. Like, I felt all of it. All of it. And they're like, you have to push for your placenta. And I did, like, I don't even know how many pushes I did, but it was super quick. And the moment that I finally got to see his face, everything just moved in like slow motion. Like, everything, it was, I've never felt that before in my life. And it's undescribable, indescribable. Yes. And I just felt so complete. And I remember when I was pregnant, I had a dream with my baby, and he looked almost identical to how I imagined him in my dream. It was insane. But they stitched me up. I was with my baby, and I could not believe it. I want to say, like, everyone was so happy, and my mom recorded the whole thing on the low. And till this day, I think when I was probably like 2 weeks postpartum, I watched a little bit of it. But till this day, I haven't been able to watch the whole thing. I don't know why. Like, it's sitting in my phone, but I haven't been able to watch the whole thing. Maybe I will soon. But it was just fucking beautiful. Like, I feel like my whole pregnancy was super positive, and so was my birth. Like, I loved everything about it. I wouldn't, the only thing I would do differently is if I were to have another baby, I would want the baby to come when they want to come. I wouldn't get induced again. I would just go with the flow, basically. But I remember after I gave birth, and it was just us in the room, and we were going to get moved to another room to spend the night, and no one else can come in. It would just be my man and I and the baby. So I said bye to my mom, I said bye to my mother-in-law, and we're like, holy shit, like, we're really gonna be in the room alone with the baby. Like, what the fuck are we doing? We go to the room, and till this day, like, we say that's our favorite moment ever. Like, we wish we can go back to that first night in the hospital that we spent overnight. And it was just such a feeling of bliss. But when we went over there, my blood pressure was a little low, so I wasn't feeling my best. I was feeling a little bit like shit, honestly. But I went to the bathroom, and I took my first poop, and I remember hearing that that's a little scary, that it was going to be like super painful. I mean, it's different for everyone, but personally for me, I took my first poop and I was fine. And I was just laying on the bed, and I couldn't believe it. And so many people walk into your fucking room to ask you questions and this and that. And I was like, oh my God. And it was just beautiful. I wanted my baby to get circumcised, and I think the next day, later in the afternoon, they came to get him, and I cried the whole time I was waiting for him. When they brought him back, the nurse was like, are you okay, mama? And I'm like, yeah, I really missed him. And I'm like, oh my God, girl, relax. But it was such a good experience. My man gave me my first shower, and that shower after you give birth, it's fucking great. I felt that it was the best shower of my life. And I remember telling everyone the first thing I want after I give birth is some damn motherfucking sushi and some red wine. And that's exactly what I got. My mom brought me a bottle and hella sushi, and I was in heaven. In heaven. We got discharged, I think, on the third day. Yeah, we spent 2 nights at the hospital, and then that third day we got discharged in the afternoon. And it was time to get in the car. My man did the hot dad, new dad car seat walk, and it was beautiful. It was amazing. I would do it all over again. And yeah, like, not every birth story is scary. There's a lot of birth stories that are positive. There's a lot of stories that are terrifying. And I just thank the universe that I had a good experience. Of course, that doesn't mean that if I were to have another baby, it will be like that. I really hope and pray it is. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna yap about today. I just love talking about my birth story. I don't know why. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it all over again, and I wish I can go back and relive it maybe one or two more times. But that's all I have for today. If you're listening to this, thank you so very much. I'm excited for my next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. See you on the next one.